Hello and welcome to another episode of Daily Reflections. Pastor Sean coming to you from the front porch here in Sonoraville. It is a hot day, hot. And I keep reminding myself that we live in Georgia, where it is always hot this time of the year. But it is a beautiful day. I have enjoyed it thoroughly. Everything that I needed to do today, I was able to do from my laptop or my tablet. So I got to spend most of the day here with Sky and Joni and just spending some time here around the house, getting some odd and end things done and a lot of work done on my laptop and on my tablet. And so it's been a great day, and I hope you're having a great day as well. I want to talk to you today about kindness. I've been watching people over the last few weeks and months as we are in the middle of this pandemic and all of the different things that are going on in this world, and I've seen people being kind. Oh, I love it. In the middle of this chaos, in the middle of this craziness, kindness is showing through. People are able to be nice to one another, kind to one another, above and beyond exception. I've seen people buy entire baskets full, shopping carts full of groceries for people who were just a few dollars short. They step up and they buy the whole lot for them. I've seen and been part of people buying the food for the people behind them in line at Chick-fil-A or at Zaxby's or at Starbucks or even in McDonald's. I've seen it happen on occasion after occasion after occasion. I've been involved in playing it forward and passing it on and buying for the person behind us. And so many times we forget just to be kind to one another, just to be good to people. You know, there's that guy that stands at the end of the exit ramp, who's got his army jacket on, and he's a homeless veteran just trying to get down the road, and you slip him a couple of dollars. That's an act of kindness. There's that neighbor who lives down the street whose yard needs to be mowed, but he's an elderly guy, and he's like everybody else. He's afraid to get out and get in the pollen, get in the air. Maybe he might catch something. And you slip down there one afternoon and you mow his grass. That's an act of kindness. And so many times we just need to be kind to somebody. Be kind to somebody. If you've got tomatoes in your garden and you bag them up and take them to a widow, or take them to church and hand them out to people at church, that's an act of kindness. So many times we forget that simple things make a big difference. I bought lunch for a group of guys last week. We had lunch together, and I just bought lunch. And they were all just like, "Whoa, dude." And I'm like, "Hey, it's okay. Glad to do it. Love all of you. Glad to do it." I bought lunch for a buddy of mine the other day. We stopped. We ran through Chick-fil-A. We ran through Chick-fil-A. Got us a couple of grilled chicken sandwiches. Finished the conversation out in the truck as we were riding to our destination. And it wasn't anything. It was just an act of kindness. It was just being kind, being nice to somebody. I was helping somebody move a couple of years ago. And the question was asked, "Dude, what are you doing?" You're at the time, you're 47, 48 years old. You don't need to be lifting a couch. You know what I mean? But it was the kind thing to do. It was the nice thing to do. It was the right thing to do. Kindness is always right. You will always go right by being kind to somebody. So many times I see the evil in this world. People snubbing each other. People, just being mean. We see it on the news. We see more evil than we do good on the news. That's just because we're in an election year, and the media doesn't like for us to hear good stuff. They want us to be sad and depressed, and so they put all the bad stuff on, and we don't see any of the good stuff. We don't see the guy who buys the elderly lady's groceries for her. We don't see the people who, when the rioters attacked the CNN Center and broke out the windows, we don't see the church groups that came the next day and swept up and cleaned up and got everything ready. We don't see the people who when the vandals go through and they demolish stores. We don't see the people who come out the next day and are hugging the store owners and saying, listen, we'll help you rebuild. We've always shopped here. We're going to continue to shop here. When you reopen, we'll be right back here. What can we get from you today? What wasn't destroyed that we can buy from you today? Those are acts of kindness that Jesus wants us to do. Yes, there's going to be evil. Yes, there's going to be bad. Yes, there's going to be terrible situations, but we have to come in afterwards and say, here, I'm here to help. What can I do? How can I show kindness today? The world sees a whole lot of negative. A whole lot of negative. We need to show the positive. I was at football practice yesterday, coaching out at Ashworth. And I was at football practice yesterday, and I worked my guys pretty hard. It was hot, and I worked them hard. And when it was over and done with, one of the kids came to me and said, thank you, Coach Belcher. And I just smiled, and I said, you're welcome, Daniel. And he was thanking me out of the sweat, out of the tears, out of the sore muscles. He thought of the kind thing to do would be to thank me for my time. Thank me for my sacrifice. Thank me for being out there with them in the heat and teaching them a few things about football. Random act of kindness. Out of all of the bad that's going on in this world, we, Christians, need to be kind. Buy somebody's dinner. Buy somebody's lunch. Buy somebody's breakfast. Buy somebody a cup of coffee. It's not going to break you. It's not going to kill you. Talk to somebody in the Walmart and give them a word of encouragement. I was in the doctor's office a couple of weeks ago for a routine checkup, and I was friendly with everybody in the office. And as I was getting ready to leave, my doctor patted me on the shoulders and he said, Pastor, thank you for coming in today and brightening up this office. And I said, what do you mean, Doc? And he said, you are always so fun and so joyous and so nice to everybody that it just makes the office a happier place when you come through. He said people have been coming through. They're afraid to talk. They're afraid to shake hands. They're afraid to fist bump. They're afraid to do anything. They got their mask on. They got their gloves on. He said everybody's scared to death. He said, but when you come in, everybody starts smiling. And I said, well, I wish I didn't have to come in so much. And he just laughed. And he said, I do too. But I go in there, and there's no reason to be down. There's no reason to be sad. There's no reason to be miserable. We need to be happy. We need to be joyous. We got Jesus living in our heart, and heaven will be our eternal home. We ought to show kindness to everybody we come in contact with. So what are you going to do today? Go out and find somebody today. Go out and find somebody tomorrow. Go out and find somebody this weekend and be kind to them. Show them that the love of Christ is still alive in the church today. Coming from my front porch, this is Pastor Sean, clapping my hands because that drives my daughter crazy. Glad that you are tuning in. Don't forget, next week our Bible studies will only be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but you'll still be able to catch Daily Reflections every night at 6 o'clock. And right here on Facebook and YouTube, join me, and I promise you, you'll have a good laugh and a good time, all right? So join me tomorrow night. Join me tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for Bible study, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for Daily Reflection. Just know that I'm praying for you. I love you. I hope to see you this weekend at Irwin Hill. God bless you as always, is my prayer.